Hello, students. Let's discuss a literary term. And the literary term which we are going to discuss is simile, a very common and frequently used literary device, a literary term in English poetry. Simile is a figure of speech in which a similarity between two subjects is directly expressed. And the similarity which is often made between two things is between two totally unrelated things or two entirely different things. And most similes are introduced by as or like. As or like are the two words which are used in a simile, and where as or like is not used in a comparison between two dissimilar things, it becomes a metaphor. For example, he was as high as a kite, and the shark's jaws gripped like a clamp. These are two examples of similes, because the height of that person is compared to a kite flying high in the sky. So what is intended by this comparison is that he was very tall, that he looked like a kite flying high in the sky. And the shark's jaws gripped like a clamp. What is meant to say is that the shark's jaws gripped so tightly that they appeared just like a clamp, an iron clamps. Simile, which is an explicit comparison between two different things. It can also be a comparison between two different actions or feelings. For example, I wandered lonely as a cloud. The poet, Wordsworth, the poet here, compares himself or his action of wandering in nature or in natural places, has compared himself to a cloud. So the poet compares his action with that of the cloud, that is of wandering. And simile, as we have already talked about, that it is a very common figure of speech in both prose and verse. Sometimes a simile is not simply a comparison between two dissimilar things, but it is used in an elaborated sense. For example, in epics, there are long comparisons and consistent comparisons between two entirely different things. At that time, in those instances, it is called epic simile, when it is used in an epic. So I hope you got the point. Thank you for listening.